Rolling, we're rolling.
So,
If you could
we
talk
saw
to
Cats 2.
Electric Cataloo. There's no Boogaloo in this. It's Cataloo.
Horrifying.
Oh my god! Look, I've seen the trailers for Dolittle going into that. We saw the trailers for we saw the trailers like might be okay, at least from the trailers. Like, okay, Robert Downey Jr. is doing a weird kind of Irish accent. They spoiled the fucking dragon in the trailer, but okay, it could be good.
I would like to quote something. Well, kind of a bridge quote, if you will. Paraphrase, I think, is the word I'm looking for. Is he going to do that accent throughout the entire film?
Yeah.
Yes! Yes, he is! All right, boyo.
No, it was like a thin whisper Irish accent.
All right, boyo.
All right, boy.
But he was doing a lot deeper,
all right, boy.
which only made it weirder.
Yeah, and he's also speaking pretty fast at points, too.
All right, boyo.
All right, boy.
All right. So this is what we need to do.
So
hand me the forceps. No, that's a leak.
No, that's just a leak. That's a carrot. That's an leak. That's a carrot. We have no choice but to embark on this perilous journey.
What? The fuck did you just say?
That's kind of the reaction we got at the time in this movie.
Yeah. No, there were a decent number of times throughout the film where...
Sorry, the glove compartment. I noticed when he was doing...
Whatever accent fucking he was doing, which I think
you said it was trying to be like Irish?
Irish. Like, it sounded more Irish than it did Scottish.
You mentioned that he did like the whole inflections with boyo, and there's... Irish tends to sound a bit lighter than Scottish. Scottish tends to sound a bit heavier. So, and I mean, it all depends on who you go to. You obviously are listening to. There's different dialects, obviously.
It also depends on region. But for the most part, it sounded very...
But I mean, if you're something Scottish, you don't really sound like that.
A security vehicle, like, right behind us, flashing its lights.
I mean, is he... Oh, you know what it is? You left your car running by itself.
Yeah.
So he's probably there looking at the fact you said there's a car by itself running on its own with no one in it.
And?
I'm just saying that's probably... And okay, now he moves on. All right. I'm just saying that's probably why he stopped, because he saw a running car without a driver. All right. No, I get it. I'm just saying that's why he stopped.
You know what? He can stop.
All right, fine. You can stop. Why don't we just stop this right now? I mean, no.
Reviews pretty quick.
Yeah, we'll try to be as detailed
I can
possible.
understand why the score for this is lower than Cats, to be honest.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't, because last I checked, it might have gone up, might have gone down, it was like 12%. Cats stood at like around 19 to 21%. I'll be honest, I don't see a 12% bad movie here.
I do, for the main reason being... is that it feels like a lot less effort went into this, and also Cats is bad. Like, I haven't seen it, but everything I have read it's really bad.
It's almost nightmare fuel points.
But it's entertaining. This is the bad kind of bad, where it's not entertaining. You're just sitting there and you're like,
I mean, let's at least be fair to the movie and say the few things that we thought worked, if any. There was a couple jokes that worked. Oddly enough, they were all the dark jokes.
A couple. I think there were two throughout the entire thing. I thought I counted
three, because there was the squirrel encouraging the kid to jump.
Commit suicide.
There was the fly who survived a fly swatter saying, I am the chosen one. I'm going to just it's eaten by a seagull, which we both got a legitimate laugh out of that. I could have sworn there was another like morbid style joke.
There probably was, but it was still the kind of thing where it was probably a repeat of the whole, suggesting suicide
something like that.
And it's like, you already did it once. I don't care.
The CGI ranges from decent to, oh God, is that fake?
And sometimes in one scene.
Exactly. But to be fair, like the visual shot, like the landscape shots, like of the island and stuff, those are nice looking shots.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't do much with it. And that, I kind of think, ends our... And Robert Downey Jr., for as much as here's the sad part about this, at least from my perspective. I don't think he was phoning it in. It looked like he was having fun. It's just he just wasn't doing it the right way.
He was. Like, the impression I get was more. It was less like you're sitting there and having, like, loads of fun.
Mm-hmm.
More like a casual, like, oh, yeah, this is...
Okay, all right, I'm going to probably...
For example, you know, on levels of fun through movies, like, Robert Downey Jr. in, say, Sherlock Holmes is the kind of fun you can see him having where, you know, it's like going out for, you know, a night on town with your friends. You go to a bar, everyone's laughing, having a great time, all that stuff. This is more, you invite a friend over and you play checkers. And, you know, they stop by for like an hour or two. Like, it's not high-flying fun. It's more, yeah, this is enjoyable. This is nice.
And that's the thing. It's like, I feel like he was trying to put some effort into what he was... Because that's the thing. I'd like to know if the voice was his idea or if that was the director's idea. Or, like, in the script that he's got this accent. So, do this accent, Robert.
I get the impression it was more, hey, I'm tired of doing a British accent for, you know, any roles that are not Tony Stark.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, cool. Do an Irish one.
This did feel like decal Sherlock Holmes a little bit, at least from a character perspective. Like, he's quirky, he's a genius, but he's awkward.
I'm sure it was billed as something else to everyone. And I think part of the reason why we had to get more human characters was the fact that Robert Downey Jr. was sitting there and just getting tired.
He was just talking to tennis balls on sticks for so long, or people in mocap or whatever. And I think the part that bothered us the most when we talked about it was the fact that for the first 2 minutes of the film, we got what the film we should have had in the beginning in terms of this should have been an animated film in the style they were showing. Yeah. If you had given us the exact same film in an animated format...
It almost looked like old school Disney.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, I was down for that.
I would have watched the shit out of that movie. This movie... In a live action setting, this movie feels so cliched, so tropey. But that kind of stuff can work in an animated film a lot better because it's a different medium. Yeah. So if we'd seen that, I would have been down for the movie we got.
Well, the other thing is like, I feel with the film that they were doing, where it's live action, I think it would have been better off had none of the animals actually... been voiced, like we couldn't hear them.
If there was one animal that had to talk, or like the few that should have, or whatever, parrot was an acceptable one because the parrot was at least lend stuff, and I think you could have still gotten away with a dragon talking as well. I think the dragon's an acceptable one because it's a fucking dragon.
Yeah, by the way, there's a dragon.
You saw the trailer. They hint at the dragon in the movie, like, oh, we published a book on dragons. What poppycock? You fucking showed the dragon in the trailer. There's no mystery to that.
See, my big problem with it is you get multiple times throughout the movie where they're doing the trope of, oh no, it's all over. We have to stop now. This is the end. And you're sitting there like, dude,
we know we saw the dragon in the trailer.
Fucking dragon in the trailer.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, this movie is nothing but fucking tropes.
And the other trope, the dragon. We got to get past the dragon to get the thing we need. Okay, well, the dragon needs help. Okay, that's gonna be it. That fine, whatever. That trope works, whatever. In this scenario, it can work.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But there are just so many tropes.
1,000 other ways you could have done it.
There are just so many tropes throughout the whole fucking movie of, I've lost love. I have to find a new family. Oh, this, oh, that. And it's like, dude, piss off with this shit. This shit was old. Fucking 20 years ago.
Here's my issue with that, is that in this film, honestly, because that's part of the leading plot, like he lost his wife, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. It's fine to lead with that and address it maybe once or twice more throughout the entirety of the film so he can learn to overcome his issue.
Well,
but the problem for me is, it's kind of, you just hinted at it, they just keep going back to it over and over and over. It's like, to the point where it's like, we get it. That's what you're going with. You already told this to us about 1,000 other times.
Well, the problem I have isn't that. Like, I think it's okay to bring it up so much.
No, yeah.
If you make us care about her.
Honestly, make us care about any
instead
of them.
him sitting there being like, I lost this person. Here's a picture of her.
Oh, wait,
Show us her.
Flashback of her, that's
Give
fine.
us reason to care about her so we can empathize with his loss.
Give us a reason to care about, and I'll be honest, as much as I like Robert Downey Jr., I think we all love Robert Downey Jr. on some level, and damn it, I feel like he's at least giving an attempt. I don't care about any character in this film. I cared the most about the dragon because of all the shit in her ass. Not a pun, not a metaphor.
Oh, you're talking about that now.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just get it out of the way now because I don't know how much time we'll have left on this.
They have to perform a colonoscopy on the fucking dragon.
And Mark looked at me and was like, it's gonna be a fucking egg. It's gonna be like, I'm not gonna, I was like, no. They're about to perform a colonoscopy on that dragon.
Because I didn't think it was gonna be that fucking stupid.
Oh, God almighty. Like, I get it. Help the dragon who's in pain or whatever, and that's fine. It's the trope, but it's a trope that makes sense. A colonoscopy?
They gave other ways that the dragon was in pain.
No, I completely agree with you. There's literally 1,000 other ways you could have done the scene.
Well, they showed another way. They're like, oh, you lost someone too. And you're thinking, he's gonna, empathize with the dragon.
Exactly.
Make the dragon, realize that just because you've lost someone, you can move on and live a happy life in their honor. No,
let's just shove our foot.
Jokes.
I'm just gonna, shove my hands right up. Hands, mind you, because it's a fucking dragon. Right up your ass.
Jokes.
First it's kind of a shit joke, just pull his shit right out of her ass. Armor, bones, and then the fart joke. Oh, God. The problem is, I really like almost every interpretation so far of Dr. Dolittle. The original is a classic. I love the original movie. The Eddie Murphy movies are funny. This was a bit of a trial to get through. Like, I've only seen two movies of this year. Underwater and Dolittle. Underwater is fucking Oscar-worthy compared to this.
I thought another one came out that you saw.
For this year?
Yeah.
The Grudge came out the week prior to last week, but I didn't go see The Grudge.
No.
I don't see horror movies like that unless someone like you or Carrie heads with me, because otherwise I cannot give a entertaining review on that. It's just like, it's stupid. Enough said.
Oh. I think I see why, is because we tend to be a lot more into horror movies.
Yeah, well, that, and like when we saw Rings, we both agreed how stupid that was, but we were able to continually nitpick shit and everything go off each other. If I'm by myself at a horror movie, unless it's a movie that I actually wanted to see, like Antlers, I want to see Antlers.
Wow.
But like with The Grudge, I'm like, I don't like the original Grudge. I don't like any of the Grudge. And this just looked dumb. And this was another teen level Rotten Tomatoes scored movie. So, yeah, there's no way I was going to be caught dead at The Grudge.
Looking at what's going on in the world today, everything else, 2020 is not off to a good start. We're not starting off the decade on a high note.
Underwater was it? Me and Carrie actually really had a good time. Unfortunately, that didn't do well at the box office, but has a much higher Rotten Tomatoes score than this does.
Of all of the movies, like big movies out right now,
hey, I'll let you know how Bad Boys for Life is on Tuesday when I go see it.
Bad Boys for Life,
that one's not doing bad.
Yeah, it's not doing bad, but it's basically a rehashing of a how old movie.
Second one came out probably early 2000s.
Yeah.
So, almost 20-year-old movie.
So you have that. Then Cats.
Oh. But that was last year.
No.
No, Cats
the
can't...
update.
Oh.
was earlier this week.
So last year. I don't give a rat's ass about the update.
No. If Avengers can be re-released with extra scenes and it counts...
It wasn't! I saw that! You know what they fucking did? They just gave you a tribute to Stan Lee, which was nice, and a deleted scene from the movie with uncompleted CGI at the end of the movie.
Yes, but counted.
No, it didn't! They said it did! It fucking didn't!
It pushed him over Avatar.
Yeah, but that's because people are suckers. Plus, it was Endgame, so people wanted to go back and see it anyway. Cats is not the same thing. It's really not the same comparison, actually.
I'm just saying. I think it technically also counts for this movie. Maybe not for awards, but I still think it counts for 2020. No one's going to look at Cats and be like, "Ah, yes, that movie from 2019."
Mark, no one's going to look at Cats, period.
Oh, they will.
Because hardly anyone looked at Cats, period.
People will look. People have been looking because it is so horrible.
Here's the thing, Mark. I believe that, and yeah, people obviously went to see it. Except the film, if I think I got my math right, only stands about $60 million on a $95 million budget. Yep. That means not even $100 million worth of people went to see the movie.
Yep.
So I still don't see your argument here.
Oh no, I'm saying a decent amount of people still went to see it, and people have been eating up the memes about it, and we have really gotten sidetracked off of talking.
There's not much we can say about Doodle.
I think this kind of shows how the movie is.
It's not a great movie. I won't say this. Well, okay, technically you're right. It's the worst movie I've seen of the year so far. But that's what, one of two. So I'm one and two. Right now.
I was just saying, so far this year, most of the movies are shit. Everything else is shit.
Again, I'll have to give you my my whole viewpoint of Bad Boys for Life. But hopefully that'll be like great, or at least better than this. Look, the movie's not great. Is it the worst thing ever? It's hardly the worst thing ever. I've seen far worse movies than this.
Yeah, but I would argue that, a lot of the worst movies we've seen are at least entertaining.
On some level. I mean, again, Good Boys, spoiler, was my #1 worst movie of the year last year. That had a few highlight moments I remember.